Kate and Rich, good morning to you. You're right. We're going to be hearing from two of the biggest names in politics, at least through January of next year. We're talking about President Obama and Vice President Biden. They'll be giving a speech in primetime tonight, and they'll be ready to make the case for why Democrats need to keep the White House and try to, of course, get the Congress back into their pocket. But it's interesting. It's the man you were just talking about, a former president, someone who's no stranger to Democratic politics, that had a chance to also steal the spotlight last night. We're talking about Bill Clinton. His speech came after a very contentious few hours, though, here inside the Wells Fargo Arena, where we saw supporters of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders clash directly with those of Hillary Clinton. They went state by state, looking at each of the opportunities to cast a ballot. These delegates all up for grabs. But as we've been talking about, Hillary Clinton making history late last night as she became the official nominee, the first woman in history to become a major party's nominee for president. I had a chance to speak with some delegates coast to coast to get an idea of what they want to hear from President Obama as he'll take the stage about possibly who will replace him and his legacy going forward.
And we'll hear from them just how qualified Hillary is to be our next president. They would know better than anyone, having worked with her so closely.
I think it'll be important for them to talk about how they're going to pass the torch to Secretary Clinton and how she's going to be the best successor to their legacy, and I think they're going to be able to do that quite well.
Also going to be hearing a little bit later on today from the man chosen to be the running mate. We're talking about Virginia Senator Tim Kaine. He'll be giving the biggest speech of his life here on the stage later on tonight inside the Wells Fargo Arena. A lot of people are eager to hear what he has to say. He's no stranger to Democratic politics, but this is a whole different ballgame. Millions of people watching, not just here in the U.S., but around the world. So you can imagine, Kate and Rich, there is a lot on the line tonight for him.
Mark, you were in the arena last night as the official roll call got underway. Now that Clinton is officially the nominee, does the party feel more united than it did just 24 hours ago?
It was interesting while we were watching that roll call. There were so many of those Sanders supporters that stormed out in protest the second it wrapped up. They went to the media tent. There's media from all over the world here, and they wanted to make it clear they were unhappy with what they were seeing. They didn't feel it was a very democratic process at all, which is ironic because we are at the Democratic National Convention. Whether or not they come back today, guys, I have to think that they would, whether or not they would leave town. Maybe tomorrow night they'll make some sort of protest known when Hillary Clinton gives her acceptance speech. Kate, Rich?
All right. Thank you very much, Mark Meredith, our Media General National Correspondent, live from the DNC in Philadelphia.